Hello Gemini! Thank you for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using this deck, which I lost the box, so I don't know what the name of it is. If you do, feel free to leave a message at the bottom and I will put it in the description. For the supportive oracle cards, Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards, and they're by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen. There's her last name, so I don't have to butcher it for you. Alright, let's go into Gemini. That's very interesting. Alright, where are we going with this, y'all? A lot of cards, Okay. Yeah, you gotta... This Oracle deck is a little fun. I'm just saying, there's some fun cards in here. Let's see what happens. And I'll tell you what when I laughed at when we get to it. Alright, you're starting off with the Eight of Cups, reversed. Now, right side up, that's walking away from something that you've already... Like, you've had a lot and you're just like, I've had enough of it, even though there's a lot of good, I'm walking away. This is the reverse. There's a lot of... Is there a lot of good? There's still a lot of good here. And there's like the need to walk away. There's the lure to walk away, but you're not. What number? Impasse. You get impasse, you got wisdom, and you got growth. So I'm feeling like you could walk away. You could. But like wisdom and growth and like impasse, all three of these together are making me feel like you got really excited. And you're like, there's a possibility this could go even better. Like, it's kind of getting a little stale. Like, it got to this point where it got a little stale, and there was no guarantee it was going to get more fun, if that makes any sense. There wasn't more enjoyment, really, but there was more like, what could this be? And when this changes, and that's the thing, there's a possibility for change here. And even though it's not like built in with fun, it doesn't seem like it's a natural thing here. But you're like, but I can add it. And I can make this fun, at least for me. I can enjoy this. I can find a way to make this interesting, at least to myself. And you could have walked away. It's like you're at this moment where you're kind of feeling the need to, but then you saw this opportunity and you're like, oh, this could get a little bit better. This could get a little bit more spicy. I'm going to hang out. I'm going to hang out and see where this goes. So, renewal happened, but I feel like you were a big reason why the renewal happened. I feel like you're a big reason why it happened. And I'm seeing in the environment the Two of Pentacles, like somebody else was teetering on a decision. And it's almost like they're teetering on it and you went, boop, and you push them forward just at the right time. I don't know how that sounds. It makes me laugh. Because it's kind of like you see them kind of trying to balance it and you went, and you pushed them over. And you're like, oh, I guess you made a decision. Oh, well, there you go. To me, that's how it feels. I don't know, comments will be below about what that's about. But that's how it feels. You got this to go forward. I don't know if you meant to. Like, I don't know if you were, like around somebody, like, make a decision. I don't feel like it was like that. It's just kind of pushed them off balance and they had to make a decision, and they did. I just feel that it's making me laugh. I think it's funny. Now, this was a weird moment, is what I'm getting. Because when they lost their balance, whoever this was, they're weighing out, like, what way do I want to go? What way do I want to go? Whoop, there they go. They didn't like that. They have the Knight of Pentacles reversed, which is making me feel like things had to move forward. Things had to change, but they weren't really happy with it. And they were almost kind of like trying to scramble and return back to this moment. They wanted to return back to the decision-making moment, and they couldn't. And I'm getting, like, decisions were made. I'm getting some people, like, even the people making the decisions were kind of disgruntled about making them. And just they were kind of fighting against their own decisions. It seems a little weird. It seems a little counterproductive. But I'm getting this bittersweet, like, changes did happen, but literally the people making the decisions were kind of, like, trying to not make the decisions at the same time. It's a little weird. Counterproductive. There's a bit of hypocrisy. Is that what we want to say with that? Weird. It's a weird feeling. Literally, confusion comes in. Because of that. That's why the confusion is here. At this point, you are absorbing information. You're watching, learning, listening. All right, because it's too all over the place, and you're like, I could try to make a change here. I could try to move things together. I could try to consolidate this, but the confusion is just kind of like literally out of control. There's a lot of out of control elements here. You're like, there's a little bit going there that I don't get that. I mean, and I don't understand this. And it's going to take more time to really understand it. You're more in the observing, figuring it out mode at this point. Things are going really well, though. This change is really good. Even though there's a lot of confusion, things are starting to line up correctly. So it's very interesting. You're not really pushing the envelope because you're like, I'm not really even sure why that's happening or that's happening. But I'm just going to absorb and figure out what's really going on here because I'm not sure what to do with it just yet. While all this confusion is happening, there is abundance happening. Like, good things are happening. People are a little confused and like, what are we doing? Why is this happening? But at the same time, it is working. You know, it's interesting with this abundance. It's like one man's loss is another person's gain. That's kind of like how that feels. Very much. That's literally, that's the picture on there. One person's loss is another person's gain. If you look at the top there, that guy is losing his nickel or whatever he's losing, and that lady is pulling it out, and she's like, "It's a man now." What is happening now? All right, so the 5 of staves, 5 of wands, it's reversed. Right side up is arguments, usually. That's how I read it. Reversed in this situation, there's the potential for a blow up. Potential for it. Right below it, though, is the soulmate card. This situation has a lot of potential for a very big fallout. There's a lot of potential for aggression here. But the right people are in the right places at the right times. I just feel like people are making it work out. People are working with each other. People are holding their feelings to the side, and they're just like, wait, what are we doing? What's happening here? Why did we do that? Okay, that makes sense. Tell me about this. Tell me about that. This is why I did what I did. Okay, this is good. Let's just talk it out. It could be a recipe for disaster, but because of the people involved, it's not. That's what I'm getting why we're using the 5 of wands reversed. It's like it could have been a bad situation, but it wasn't. This is like after the confusion, like this is the sorting out of the confusion, by the way. Because there's a lot of people where the people are frustrated, right? Upset. I don't understand. A lot of that going on. So instead of furthering that forward and realizing the more they perpetuate that energy, the worse it gets, they're stifling it. In this case, it's actually good. They're stifling their upset energy to understand and like let people talk and let this work out and let that work out. The soulmate in the environment is telling me people are getting along so they can understand and kind of squelch the confusion. You're still observing at this point is what I'm getting. Not that you're not participating, but you're not really actively trying to create any type of change is what I'm getting. All right, so somebody's like, okay, somebody's doing something. Okay. You got a fun card on your side, but I understand it now more. So you got mysticism in the environment. Somebody like, I feel like you're seeing it. Like this, like you might have done the little boop thing, but somebody took full advantage of that. Yeah, you might have, like, somebody might have been teetering and like, woo, and you might have gone boop. But that didn't create, all this confusion was not created from that moment. Because basically when the decision was forced, it should have been like, okay, this is the decision and go forward, here we go. But all the confusion that happened afterwards, that's not because of that boop. It's not because of that whoop, we had to make a decision. That was not why that happened. You're starting to see, like, wait a minute, who's doing what? Who benefited from that confusion the most? Because that abundance did come forward, and there's somebody who looks like they benefited a lot from it. It looks very suspicious, maybe curious to you, and you're seeing this like somebody's playing trickery. I saw this on your side, and I saw I saw this card, and that's what made me laugh, because I'm like, that's quite the interesting card. I mean, not like you can't be trickery if you don't. If you want to, I get it. Cool, whatever. But in this situation, you're like, I see what you're doing. I've played that game before. I do feel that. Like, you're like, I know that game because I played that game. I see you. I see you over there. I see you. Okay, what's going on? Now, you see it for what it is. You're like, somebody benefited here quite interestingly. Like, that's quite convenient how they got. That's quite convenient. The sun card is here in the environment. Everything's going well, but you're like, all right, wait a minute. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Somebody else benefited quite well. I need to get in with that one. I almost feel like that's what you're saying. Like, I need to get in with that one because, you know, they seem to be playing this quite well. And I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of the in team. I want to know what's really happening. And I want to make, because you're looking at this glass half full. There's a lot better things happening now. Things are a lot better. And actually the confusion, you're like, nobody got hurt. It was kind of interesting. I think you're kind of interested to find out like the ins and outs of it. You want to know how the clock works. That's what I'm looking at. I don't know how that sounds, so hopefully it doesn't sound bad, but that's how it feels when I'm pulling into it. Now, you're literally trying to get in with this energy. You saw it for what it was, and you're like, I need to understand what's happening there. Is this good? Is this bad? The end result seemed like it worked out quite well. It does, and you're like, that kind of made things a little bit more interesting. I want to get closer to it. The acceptance is like, you want to be accepted by this energy, and you're working towards it, and you're getting closer to it. I actually see the Nine of Cups reversed, and I'm getting the gossip here with the environment. Be careful what you get into. This energy is more likely to use people as pawns than partners. Be careful what you go towards, because I'm getting like, it's very interesting, and you're kind of like, well, that energy looks interesting. That looks like that worked out quite well. It looks like it benefited the situation, and that makes sense. But they're giving you a heads up right now. This is more likely to use people as pawns, less likely to use people as partners. So it's how you're valued in the end. Just keep that in mind. This person looks out for themselves, whoever this is, whatever this is. So what I'm getting here is the gossip is coming towards you, and the Knight of Cups is here as well, reversed, saying everything is not as good as it seems, and you're starting through the grapevine, through gossip, literally gossip. People are telling you more about this person, and I feel like you're finding out this person isn't that nice. And maybe they're kind of self-serving and stuff like that. And you're trying to wonder, like, is that true or is that just gossip? You'd like to believe the better. But I feel like that's a big thing with this. They're like saying, maybe not. maybe the gossip is more true than not. Or maybe it's more, well, just to be fair, Gemini is more likely to look at, like, okay, that's the gossip. But where did the gossip come from? And, like, what can I really, like, see here as a fact? Like, that happened and then everybody got upset. Like, what spawned this gossip? You're not so much about the gossip, like what's being said. You're more like, what's causing the gossip? What created the gossip? And I feel like that's what you're kind of tracking it back to. And I think that's where you're seeing, like, me, this person, not the best intentions. I'm just getting that. They're trying to give you every warning in the book. That's what I feel like they're doing. They're saying at some point you're gonna have the chance to move forward, but I feel like what they're saying is if you really want to be in with this energy, it's the Knight of Swords reversed. It's going to take some double dealing. The Knight of Swords reversed is also like stepping out. That's how I feel about it. It's either you can go either way. You can either step out or you got to do underhanded dealings. The Knight of Swords reversed can either be stepping out, I'm creating my exit, I'm verbally getting out of this situation, however that means, or it's going to take some underhanded dealing to actually be a part of it. The other energy is not accepting you. Whatever this is, the Two of Swords is saying they're not accepting you. Even if it looks like they are not. The Page of Swords reversed is telling me whatever comes from this, it's not reliable. It's not reliable, but you will have good things coming from it is the weird thing. You will find yourself getting closer to this energy, but you're also going to have the chance to see it for what it is. I feel like that's the miracle card. That's why they're showing this. Like it's a flame coming out of a tree, or like a tree stump at the bottom there. I don't know if you can see it. To me, it looks like a really thin tree stump. They're saying you're going to see what this is really about. You're going to get a chance to get a little bit closer to this, but you're also going to get a chance to get away from it. See it for what it is. I get the Knight of Swords reversed is like you're a chance to take the exit. Take the exit. I feel like that's what they're saying. They're like, this energy does not accept you. You're going to be, if you get too close to it, it will use you as a pawn to its own end. It's not going to care what happens to you. Whatever this person's situation is. Keep that in mind. That's the miracle. You're going to see it. You're going to get this opportunity to exit away from it. You're going to get close enough to really find out what it's about, but then you're going to get your opportunity to exit away. Take that opportunity to exit away. That's what they're saying. Don't, like, finding out what it's about, curiosity's been served. Don't end up being somebody's pawn. Don't do that. Just don't do that. Just don't do that. That's the end of that. Anything else? All right. I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.